Hey everyone, and welcome back to our sixth day in London. Time is passing much quicker than expected, and we still have quite a bit of sightseeing left. But first, we start the day with breakfast. By now, we've tried almost every dish on the menu, so I'm keeping it simple with scrambled eggs and bacon. The scrambled eggs are cooked to perfection, and the bacon is pretty good as well. I'm not a big fan of a full English breakfast, but of course you can order it here too. I also got a green juice, which tastes great and should be pretty healthy. My stomach still has to get used to the English cuisine, and since I don't want to miss fish and chips later today, I'm playing it safe for breakfast. The Hanhart ES417 continues to be a perfect travel companion. It's a beautiful blend of heritage and functionality, honoring the original 1950s pilot chronograph made for the German Bundeswehr. I'm thinking of buying a grey strap for it as well. It should look even better than the brown one. Our first stop today is HMS Belfast. HMS Belfast is a town-class light cruiser of the Royal Navy. Today it's permanently moored on the River Thames near Tower Bridge and serves as a museum ship run by the Imperial War Museum. It's part of the National Historic Fleet, making it one of the UK's most important preserved ships. The ship was built at the Harland and Wolff shipyard, the same place where the Titanic was constructed, and launched on St. Patrick's Day 1938. It was commissioned in August 1939, just before the outbreak of World War II. HMS Belfast saw major action during the war, including escorting Arctic convoys to the Soviet Union, taking part in the Battle of North Cape against the German battleship Scharnhorst, and supporting the D-Day landings by bombarding enemy positions. After the war, it also served in the Korean War and carried out Cold War peacetime duties until being decommissioned in 1963. There are 9 decks to explore, from the upper decks, gun turrets and flag deck all the way down to the engine rooms and boiler rooms. The flag deck offers panoramic views of London and a really cool vantage point. The visit is pretty emotional for me as a German in the UK, knowing how hard our nations fought against each other at the time. This ship is living history. You climb ladders, walk through narrow passageways, explore real machinery, and you can still smell what's left of history inside. Seeing the engine rooms, boilers and technical spaces gives you real insight into mid-20th century naval engineering. Whether you're into military history, maritime tech, or just want a unique museum experience, this ship is a must visit. It's open from 10 AM to 5 PM with last entry at 4 PM. Definitely plan around 4 hours if you want to explore every part of the ship. Even my lady enjoyed it to the fullest.
Shortly before 5:30 on the morning of D-Day, the 6th of June 1944, HMS Belfast's 6-inch guns opened fire on the Normandy coastline in support of the troops who would soon land on the beaches. 27 men were packed into this gun turret, aiming, loading and firing the guns. All around, hundreds of Allied warships immediately leapt into action.
It was the biggest day of my life, no doubt about it. I've never seen anything like it. There were boats everywhere, thousands of them. We went to action stations early on. Everything was closed down. The turret's gloomy inside, low light, but it doesn't matter. You know your place, you know your role. We knew what to do. It's crowded, but after a bit, you just don't notice. Focused. You can't see all the people. You just see your team. The firing of guns follows a slick, well-practiced routine. There are 7 men working each of the guns. We all move in sequence, like the parts of a clock, synchronized like a machine. Gun back, breech open, shell in, rammed home, cordite in, breech closed, gun laid, fire. One back, breech open, shell in, fire, cordite in, breech closed, gun laid, fire. One back, breech open, shell in, fire, cordite in, breech closed, gun laid, fire. One back, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One back, breech open, shell in.
It was big. It was a real warship. The first thing that struck me was that everybody was happy on there. It was a happy ship. A very happy ship, as I found out as time went on.
Power away from the engines through the gears to the propeller shafts. Each engine generated what was termed 20,000 shaft horsepower. That means it was as powerful as 100 family cars. Belfast could travel from Britt to Sri Lanka before needing to put up.
Middle watch, bow 400. Wind direction, northwest, force 12. Weather and visibility, very poor. Sea and swell, 22. Temperature, -5 degrees Fahrenheit, -22.
After HMS Belfast and some shopping, Our next stop is the Mayfair Chippy, where I will finally get my fish and chips. For that, we are taking the tube, which is super easy and convenient to use here in London. I received a lot of suggestions in the last video and we ended up choosing the Mayfair Chippy. It's a casual dining restaurant with a nostalgic, slightly upscale classic chippy vibe. Very British, traditional fish and chips with a modern, classy twist. I can't believe we have to wait almost an hour for a table. So I'm using the chronograph to keep track and make sure we don't miss our time slot. It's funny how watch guys always find a reason to use a chronograph, whether it's boiling an egg or timing fish and chips. Their specialty is fish and chips, of course, but they offer much more. Oysters, crab, mussels, caviar and other snacks. The classic cod with fries, mushy peas, tartare and curry sauce comes in at £26. We ordered the classic fried and battered cod, plus some shrimp and squid. The shrimp are crunchy and a good size, and the cocktail sauce has a nice fruity flavor. The squid comes with lime and soy sauce. And now the highlight, the fish and chips. The batter is crunchy and not too oily, nicely salted, crispy and perfect for dipping into the sauces. The portion is huge. One serving is definitely enough for 2 people. I'm trying my best to finish it, but the meal is much heavier than expected, so we couldn't get through all of it. We paid around £80 for everything, including drinks and service, which is definitely expensive, but the experience was worth it. And now I don't need another fish and chips again for the next few years. Back at the hotel, we finished the evening with a couple of drinks before heading to bed. The Hanhart did an amazing job today, and I really enjoyed having it with me in the perfect environment on HMS Belfast. The loom is always incredible, and puts a smile on my face every time I use it in dark conditions. Definitely one of the coolest Hanhart watches the brand has released so far. I'll most likely do a full review of it, including its history, once I'm back in Dubai. Today is already our 7th and last full day in London. We still haven't had the chance to visit Harrods, and since it's my girlfriend's first time in London, this is a must-do for her. Harrods is a luxury department store located on Brompton Road in Knightsbridge. It's housed in a grand late Victorian building with a terracotta facade and ornate detailing. The store is huge, around 1.1 million square feet of retail space, making it one of the largest department stores in Europe. It's also Grade 2 listed, meaning it's protected for its architectural and historic importance. And as always, there are queues everywhere. We started our visit in the watch and fine jewelry department, which houses a Rolex boutique, an AP store, A. Lange und Söhne, and Vacheron Constantin. Downstairs we saw some cool Mozart pieces next to Bamford watch department models. There's also a Tudor store, and I almost forgot that you can still buy the famous Tudor Harrods edition here, which is rumored to be discontinued soon. Tudor and Harrods have collaborated on a few models, the most famous being the Black Bay Harrods edition with the signature Harrods green on the bezel. Historically, these pieces were hard to get with long waiting lists, but recently they've become available in store. It's too big for my wrist, but it's still cool to see it in person inside Harrods. Next, we moved on to the Rolex boutique. This store is a decent size, but also one of the hardest places to buy a Rolex. My friend has been trying for years without any luck. In the display, I spotted a nice 36mm Wimbledon dial with a fluted bezel, and I decided to try my luck. The boutique has a nice private lounge where we got coffee, tea and water. And here's the watch on my wrist. I tried my best to convince the sales advisor to sell it to me, but no success. I still don't understand how their allocation system works. Maybe the manager tells them in the morning what's available, but then my next question is, how does the manager decide what to sell that day? Very strange system, and one I'll probably never understand. So we left without the watch and grabbed a quick lunch and coffee afterwards. For lunch we had Chinese inside the Harrods food hall. Again, super expensive, but I wanted to try it. Most of the restaurants we wanted were either closed or had long waiting times, so we settled for fried noodles. For coffee, we went to the famous Prada Caffe, which has become quite an Instagram spot. A big thank you to Ayman Belgona for his great comment and the $5. We used it for a proper coffee and tea. And to answer your message, if you work as hard as you can and have a vision, you will succeed. Back to the Prada Caffe, the interior is very Prada. Walls, ceilings, sofas and armchairs in the brand signature mint sage green. The floor is black and white checkered, inspired by Prada's first boutique in Milan, which I showed on the channel last year. Floral bas reliefs decorate the walls, another design element taken from Prada's flagship stores. The menu offers drinks, coffee, tea, snacks, pastries and a few mains. Everything is of course very expensive, but the vibe and experience are incredibly Instagrammable. The pastel green velvet seating, the checkered floor, the branded tableware, it's all super photogenic, intimate but stylish. More than just a place to grab a coffee. It's a curated brand experience. Opening hours are from 9 am to 9 pm and I would definitely recommend making a reservation. We encountered another long line outside. Overall the Harrods visit was nice, but nowadays it's extremely crowded and everything is priced out of this world. We took a quick walk around Buckingham Palace and stopped to look at Big Ben, London's most famous landmark, though the name is often misunderstood. Big Ben is actually the nickname for the Great Bell inside the clock tower at the north end of the Palace of Westminster. The tower itself was renamed the Elizabeth Tower in 2012 in honor of Queen Elizabeth II. People still casually call the entire tower Big Ben, but technically it's just the bell. We also passed the London Eye, although we didn't have the chance to ride it this time. And with that, our last day in London came to an end. After more than a week, it's time to head home. The trip was absolutely incredible, lots of watch shopping, horological experiences, living the London watch collector lifestyle and enjoying some great sightseeing with friends. I still have to get used to British cuisine, or maybe I'll just stick with sushi during my next visit. I understand the hype around London with all its iconic places, posh restaurants, shopping malls and unique culture. The Hanhart was the perfect choice. I never felt worried wearing it, though I usually kept long sleeves on. My girlfriend wore a full gold Omega and had no issues either. So I guess London isn't as bad as people say in terms of watch crime. But better safe than sorry. And with that, we wrap up this series. Thank you so much for watching all 6 episodes of this incredible trip. Drop me a comment with some destination ideas for 2026, and I hope to see you all soon for the next episode. Dubai Watch Week starts tomorrow, and I'm more than ready for it. Stay healthy and goodbye.